Jennifer Jill.
Oh, sorry,
No.
the name's changed. It's just on screen.
Jill Nuthall. Oh, Jill Nuthall. I know Jill Nuthall. Hello, Jill. Inner City West Neighbourhood Association.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. We are the Inner City West Neighbourhood Association, ICON, a community residents organisation formed in the 1980s for the area bounded by Beeley Avenue to Cambridge Terrace, and on the west by Hagley Park and Botanical Gardens, on the east by Durham Street. Our members are all dedicated to making Christchurch Central City a great place to live. Our submission concentrates on our area, although many of the recommendations apply more widely. Our first point, which underlies the rest, the long-term plan needs to add critical actions to build a livable central city adapted to climate change, not merely to mitigate its effects. The City Council should be adopting new methods of building, transport, materials, and all these other things to become a low-carbon city. Therefore, a strengthened climate action program must be threaded through the long-term plan. It's not enough to have it separate. Each of the next steps must include implementation measures as well as consulting, considering, finding partnerships. That's not enough. Our comments on operational and funding matters. If you are to match and advance the community outcomes that you adopted in Christchurch City's strategic plan, the long-term plan should strengthen compliance to ensure council sticks to its own rules. The budget needs to allow for enough skilled planning staff with sufficient powers to ensure against commercial creep into residential areas in the central city. This is an ongoing problem for neighbourhood groups, especially in the central city. And if Christchurch City Council is to attain its own goal of bringing 20,000 long-term residents into the central city, you must better monitor compliance, enforce zoning, and notify RMA applications that break the rules. We agree with the proposed rates increase and suggest that monitoring any future changes to short-term unhosted accommodation will require the appointment of dedicated staff if that's to be effective. But if approved, the increased rates for these commercial businesses could meet any increase in council costs to administer and leave some for other related services. We agree with charging households a targeted rate for water usage. It seems plenty for most of us. Another major point for us is we support the most effective and efficient public transport that can be designed and installed as soon as possible. Even though most responsibility rests with ECAN, the City Council should include joint plans and implementation in the long-term plan, as every well-functioning city is built around its public transport system, not apart from or long after most housing has been built. Meanwhile, please bring back something similar to the yellow bus in the central city, especially for those of us who can't walk far or like me, are just not safe on cycles, scooters or skateboards. ICON opposes cutting of the budget for the restoration of heritage buildings and recommends restoring heritage grants and heritage incentive funds to the previous $700,000. And under this, we support the plan to provide the Arts Centre with capital grant through a targeted rate, and we support the plan to pay for the base isolation of the museum. But we oppose the plan to dispose of 5 Worcester Street and urge the council to retain it in council ownership. We have heard of businesses and charities who could use it for housing, educational or other suitable purposes, so we urge you to expand your search. As you can see, our submission offers support for the draft's modest move to mitigate climate change and offers ways the council can strengthen its response. We owe it to our young people to act now and make substantial change well within the next 10 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, with 13 seconds to go, and I've already admitted that I'm a member of ICON, so can't technically ask you any questions. No? Same with Jake. So thank you very much for your submission. It's obviously a lot of thought and work has gone into it, so much appreciated. Thank you. Right, that brings